Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about the derivative of the five-chambered heart, and these are the various parts. So this is the five-chambered heart, and these are the various parts. This is our sinus venosus. This is our primitive atrium. This is our primitive ventricle. This is our bulbous cordis, and this is our truncus arteriosus. So let me spell that again. Truncus arteriosus. So now the derivative of this art are into different parts, right? So we'll be starting from here, this region. Now our primitive atrium. Our primitive atrium give rise to the rough anterior part of right atrium, right auricle, and left auricle, right? Our primitive ventricle give rise to trabeculated part of left ventricle. So this is gone, this is gone. The next is our bulbous cordis. Our bulbous cordis is divided into three parts. We have proximal 1/3, middle 1/3, and distal 1/3. The middle 1/3 is also referred to as conus cordis, and our distal 1/3 is also referred to as truncus arteriosus. Right? Now, what do each of these parts, what do they give rise to? The proximal part, proximal third of bulbous cordis give rise to trabeculated part of right ventricle. The middle third give rise to outflow tract, and that's infundibulum for right ventricle and aortic vestibule for left ventricle. Then finally, our distal 1/3, which is our truncus arteriosus, it gives rise to the ascending aorta and pulmonary trunk. Right? So quick recap. Primitive atrium gives rise to rough anterior part of right atrium, right auricle, and left auricle. Our primitive ventricle gives rise to the trabeculated part of left ventricle. Our bulbous cordis has three parts. These are the proximal 1/3, the middle 1/3 or conus cordis, and the distal 1/3 or truncus arteriosus. Now, what does each of these parts, what do they give rise to? The proximal 1/3 give rise to the trabeculated part of right ventricle. Our trabeculated part of the left ventricle already arise from the primitive ventricle. So the right ventricle is arising from the proximal 1/3 of bulbous cordis. Then the middle 1/3 give rise to the outflow tract, which is our infundibulum on the right and the aortic vestibule on the left. And the distal 1/3, which is our truncus arteriosus, give rise to the ascending aorta and the pulmonary trunk. Derivative of sinus venosus. Sinus venosus. So I'll be dividing this. At first, there is shunt of blood from the left side or on to the right on, making the left on smaller. Initially, each of these ons have three tributaries. We have three tributaries from the innermost one to the outermost one. From the innermost one to the outermost one, we have vitelline vein. Then the middle one, umbilical vein. Then the outside or the outermost one, common cardinal vein. Now left on, all the branches disappear, all the tributaries rather disappear. Right? But the right on, only umbilical vein disappears. Right? Now the left on of the sinus venosus forms coronary sinus and oblique vein of right atrium. So we should know these two things. The coronary sinus and the oblique vein of right atrium arise from the left horn of sinus venosus, while the right horn gets absorbed into the right atrium, and this accounts for its posterior smoothness. Do we get that? So this account for the posterior smoothness. Then finally, the sino the sinoatrial orifice have two valves. Sino right venous valve and left venous valve. The two valves fuse dorsocranially to form septum spurium. So as this is right valve, this is left valve. So these two valves will fuse dorsocranially. So we have something like this. So at this part it is fused, and this is our septum spurium. So septum spurium together with left venous valve and septum secundum take part in the formation of interatrial septum, right? Then finally, the right venous valve in the upper part. The upper part will fuse with the wall of the right atrium, while the lower part will persist to form the valve of IVC and coronary sinus. So IVC is station valve, coronary sinus, septation valve. So IVC is eustachian valve, while coronary sinus is septation valve. IVC valve is not functional in adults, but is functional in fetal life, while coronary sinus is still functional. Bye.